Okay, thank you for the time that you've given to me. Good morning, Miss, and also good morning, my friends. So, first of all, let us give thanks to the one and only God for giving the grace of health and safety so that we can gather in this farewell meeting. I would like to thank my friends who for being pleased to be present in presentation and discussion section today. The topic that I will discuss this morning is the impact of Korean culture or K-pop on adolescents in Indonesia. My name is Umar, who will guide the presentation and discussion section today. So, to shorten the time, let's start for the first material, which is about K-pop. So, before I continue to the first material, do you know what is K-pop?
Can I try to answer?
Yes, please.
In my opinion, K-pop is a music that originated from South Korea, which is currently become a trending topic in around the world. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. So for the answer is correct. And here I will give a little bit about K-pop. So K-pop stands for Korean pop or Korean pop music is a type of popular music that originated in South Korea. Many Korean pop artists and groups have crossed national border and are popular overseas. South Korea is one of the most popular boy group and girl group music producing countries in the world. South Korea is one of the countries that popularize pop culture today. It is the actor, actress, and musicians who have succeeded in bewitching various circles. K-pop culture has become global, including culinary and culture. And before we continue for the next material, I will ask you something. Did you know what is Korean wave?
Can I try to answer again?
Yes, please.
Korean web is a spread of a Korean culture to other countries through music, films, product, and others.
Okay, thank you for the answer. So I will add a little bit about Korean wave. So Korean wave itself was initiated and is very synonymous with the world of entertainment such as music, drama, and variety shows, which are neatly packaged to present Korean culture. Over time, Korean culture has been applied in the daily life of Korean culture for Korean lovers, such as from fashion, makeup, Korean style, skincare, food, speech, to language. For example, the use of Korean skincare and makeup products, Korean style, Korean food, and so on. And they also often insert Korean words into everyday life, such as 안녕, 사랑해, hyung, and so on. In addition, fans of Korean artists usually prepare fan base or communities that are well known in various regions in Indonesia. This is also supported by the number of Korean companies operating outside Korea, such as Indonesia. Learning Indonesia will give them the opportunity to work in Korean companies outside of Korea. Okay, for the next material is the causes of Korea's culture into. Before I continue, do you know what is the causes of Korea's culture into to Indonesia, especially for adolescents in Indonesia?
No, I don't know. Can you tell me, please?
Okay, thank you for the response. And the causes of Korea's culture into is technology advances. Technological advances can make it easier for foreign culture to enter the country through various types of media such as social media, the internet, and so on, so that It makes it easy for various types of information to be received and transferred quickly in social media. And there are several aspects that are influenced. For the first is lifestyle. Along with the development of the times, many teenagers change their lifestyles, such as those that are currently in trend or booming at that time. For example, in the rise of K-pop culture, many teenagers follow the Korean style lifestyle, starting from fashion, makeup, food, and so on, related to K-pop. And for the second is culture. This modern era has caused various cultures to quickly enter Indonesia through various media. One of them is Korean culture or K-pop, which is booming among teenagers. This causes adolescents to follow Korean style culture, starting from the way they dress to the Korean style lifestyle. And the third one is language style. The rise of Korean culture in Indonesia causes teenagers to be crazy about Korean culture. Now, many teenagers prefer to spend their time watching Korean dramas compared to other TV. This causes the language style of teenagers to become Korean in style and prefer to imitate Korean when talking to their relatives. And the last one is association. With many teenagers who really like Korean culture, it has led to the formation of an association or fan base from teenagers to actresses or actors who are idolized, thus causing the formation of several K-pop fan base associations in Indonesia. For the next material is the impact of Korean culture or K-pop for adolescents in Indonesia. There are two impacts. The first impact is positive impact and the second one is negative impact. Okay, before I continue the material, do you know what is the impact of Korean culture for adolescents in Indonesia?
No, I don't know. Can you tell me, please?
Okay, thank you for the response. I will tell you the positive and negative impact of Korean culture for adolescents in Indonesia. Positive impact. First, inspiring the music world in Indonesia. This is proven by the existence of Hallyu or Korean Wave in Indonesia, which has made many agencies in Indonesia bring up new girl bands or boy bands. And they even re-emerge boy bands that have long been absent from the world of music. The second one is fashionable Korean style dress. The number of teenagers who imitate the lifestyle of the Korean people, which is a fashion trend for other teenagers, so that it can create new fashion creation. The third one is many teenagers are interested in learning Korean culture and language. The explanation for this statement relates to since itself. With the extraordinary interest in Indonesia, it has encouraged some of the K-pop music lovers to learn all things related to K-pop and their country of origin. In this case, the knowledge he has about other countries will also develop. And the fourth one is increased foreign exchange. With so many Korean artists who come to Jakarta to hold concerts such as Super Junior, which indirectly promotes Indonesia as a destination to attract foreign tourists from Korea. And the last one is to strengthen diplomatic cooperation relation with the Korean state. With the existence of good cooperation relation from the trade sector and others. Negative impact. First, original Indonesian music will eventually disappear. With the existence of K-pop, it will have an influence in the world of music in Indonesia, because lovers of old music will be changed direction. The second one is make a local cultural shift and indifferent to local culture. The entry of Korean culture has led to the lack of interest in today's teenagers in local culture, from changing ways of dressing to lifestyles that mimic the Korean style. The third one is too fanatical about boy bands or girl groups so that they forget their obligation. For example, a student is willing to skip school to see Korean artists who come to visit Indonesia. The fourth one is the mixing of domestic culture with foreign culture, especially the music itself. This has made music from within the country less attractive to young people today, who are more interested in foreign music. And the last one is our society, especially young people, forgets about their identity as the Indonesian nation, because their lifestyle tends to imitate the K-pop culture, which is considered by the world community as a mecca. And for the next material is how to wisely deal with the impact of the Korean wave in Indonesia. And for K-popers, don't worry yet, hear how to wisely deal with the impact of the Korean wave in Indonesia, especially for adolescents in Indonesia. For the first, fostering a strong spirit of nationalism, for example the spirit of loving domestic products. Wearing clothes, shoes, or equipment made in Indonesia is one example of overcoming foreign cultures in Indonesia. And the second one is be more selective about foreign cultures that enter Indonesia. Selecting and filtering foreign cultural values is very necessary. In this case, Korean culture, which is good for the development of projects in Indonesia, can be a role model such as having a high work ethic, technology, and another. The third one is instill and practice the values of Pancasila as well as possible. By practicing and implementing all the value of Pancasila in everyday life, it can foster a sense of love for the country and care more about domestic products. The fourth one is carrying out religious teachings as well as possible and selectively against the influence of globalization in the political, ideological, economic, socio-cultural fields of the nation. And the fifth one is maintain and develop national culture as a national identity by sending cultural and artistic missions from one region to another. And the last one is to further promote the Indonesian arts culture so that people are interested in participating in preserving the Indonesian culture. Don't let our culture be recognized by other countries. Thank you for your attention and see you for the next video. Goodbye.